Hello, I am Momina Khan, certified coach from Robbins Madonna's Training Center, US, the only official coach training school of Anthony Robbins. I have 17 years of corporate experience with over 300 coaching hours and over 400 coaching specific training hours. I'm on a mission to transform human lives through my deep coaching skills. I'm highly active in the coach community of more than 10,000 coaches and have helped train some of the passionate coaches. I'm a chartered accountant from ICW and ICAP and a certified in digital transformation leadership from Haas Business School, University of California. I'm very well, and apart from my coaching, I'm working on implementation of IFRS 17 for Canadian insurance market. I recently moved my house, so I'm decorating it, working in the backyard. So yes, it's pretty interesting and relaxing at the same time. And I'm very excited for this event. So let's start. So now I worked in multiple countries and with various people coming from different countries and culture. So when I work with them, I notice a huge difference. Even at the start of the career, they're super confident. They have patience, they participate in discussions, they're never scared talking with seniors. In fact, they talk really at equal level and share their thoughts freely. They show their skills, communication, thought process in a fearless way, which is clearly lacking in our people. So, and which goes back to the style of upbringing that we have at our home and school, the way we make our children weak in the name of discipline and respect. It takes away their power from them. So we are very fortunate that people in Asian countries, they have a great IQ, but it's very unfortunate at the same time that we are poor in emotional intelligence, which is key in our personal and professional life. So my mission is to work in these areas and make our nation super strong in emotional intelligence, whether you call it confidence, integrity, leadership skills, empathy, decision-making skill, relationship building, finding a win-win solution, and conflict management. So whatever you call it, my mission is to work in these areas and make our nation really strong. So yes, I was a chartered accountant. I'm still a chartered accountant, but this is my passion that I'm following because I feel there's a gap here and I need to fill it. And it is my responsibility to fill this gap. Yes, this is the common and most difficult question that every child, teenager, or young adult is being asked. What do you want to be? So let's ask this question from our audience. Okay, guys, can you recall from your childhood when somebody asked you this question, what do you want to be? What did you say? Most probably you might have said that I want to become an Iron Man or a Spider-Man. And if you're a girl, you might have said, I want to become a princess or a tooth fairy. But now recall from your teenage, somebody asked you, what do you want to be? What did you say? So I'll answer you again. Probably you might have said that I want to become an artist, a singer, a farmer, but my parents will not allow me because it can't give me enough money. There's no such profession, etc., etc. Now, fast forward. Recall from your young adult, or probably you are. Imagine your dad's friends come to your house and ask you, hey, young man or woman, what do you want to be? Which subjects did you choose for the college or university? What did you say? Let me again guess your answer because all of you are mute. So you probably might have said that, well, my dad wants me to become an engineer. So yes, I'm becoming an engineer. Or you probably said, my mom loves doctors and she wanted to become a doctor, but unfortunately she married and she couldn't become a doctor. But now I will fulfill her dreams. Yeah, so I'm becoming a doctor. But my question to you, who decides upon your career? So the biggest mistake that we do here, that we don't choose our career path by ourselves. Someone else does it. And this could be your parent, this could be a teacher, your friends, or social environment. Throughout your life, you walk on someone else's career's path. We work hard for someone else and we give success to someone else. So what's wrong here? I mean, you might be thinking that, okay, I'm following my parents and fulfilling their dreams. So what's wrong in it? Yeah, you're right. Apparently, there's nothing wrong in here. You can be successful. You can be earning a decent money, but there are two major problems here. Probably you never noticed that. I'll tell you. So the first one is that when you are in the study process, you find it really daunting. You don't like it. It doesn't flow naturally within you. And this is the reason that you had to study very hard, but you don't get the desired results. You study hard, but after a study, you find different ways to entertain yourself, but you're still exhausted. And you have to pressurize yourself to go back to the study. On the contrary, if you like your subjects and it's aligned with your own career path, you will put all your emotions into it. You will love to burn your midnight oil. You will love the process. You will enjoy it so much that you don't need to find an activity to entertain yourself afterwards. You will get energy from your study. So the first problem is the study hard, but you don't like it, and you have a constant pressure to get good grades. And above all, you are weakening your emotional intelligence, which will carry on to your professional and personal life. How? I will tell you in a moment. But let me address the second problem here. So the second problem, when you step into your professional life, you might be happy for some time because you're getting some money, which is helping towards your financial goals to some extent. But eventually, when you find it out, it's not enough and you don't like your work. So you become either an average or poor performer. You fight only at the time of annual appraisal because you think that you are working very hard for the company, but in reality, you're doing efforts within you to convince yourself to do the work, to be in the process in the company. But there is a smart guy in your company, and unfortunately, that's your manager. He's seeing you. He's seeing this issue in you and your work. So it's easy to identify people who likes the work and they are the cream of the company. Those are the ones who are meant for promotions, salary increase, and the rest remains average performer who blame the politics, blame the company, system, create conflict with colleagues, and they release their frustration on spouse and children. And when they sit with their friends, they complain about everything and anything, but they don't find any solution. They keep working like a robot. Why? Because they're finding the problem outside their world. But the problem isn't not outside. The problem is within you. And my program is all about this, combining these three things: your personality, your financial goals, your life purpose, and give direction to your career path. Make you master of your emotions and take it to the next level where sky is the limit. By the way, guys, do you know why we are weak in emotional intelligence? Because since childhood to this age, someone else took your decision. Someone else decided for you what is wrong and what is right. You never decided. Someone else choose your friends. Someone else choose your clothes, food, shoes. Someone else choose your games or sports that you want to play. Someone told you that don't talk to the strangers because they are danger. They told you don't express your feelings. Don't talk when you are with the elders. Do you remember this term? Good girls don't talk much, or good boys don't go out with friends, etc., etc. Yeah, this is the reason that you shut yourself and become and suppress emotional intelligence. So instead, your elders giving you wisdom and to let you take your small and big decisions, they simply decided for you as an easier step. And that stopped the process for learning. So I have a question for you. If you did not take these small decisions since your childhood, do you think that you have practical experience to take the decision when you are in your professional life? Type in the chat and let me know what you think about it. So now when you're in professional life, you don't know how to take decisions. If you haven't read elementary book, How can you read a university book and expect to pass the exam with flying colors? Now, when you're in the spotlight in a company and you need to take the decision, how will you make your point? How will you listen emphatically? How will you make win-win solution? How will you lead by example? Where is your creativity? How will you use your emotional muscle, which you never build? If you don't know these things, you will always see it as a glass ceiling in the companies, especially my people in Pakistan, India, Sri Lanka, Southeast Asian countries. When they go to the West for work, they always complain that there's a discrimination, that they only promote Gora, their people. It's true that most of you don't reach to the higher positions, but the reason is not discrimination, my friends. The reason is in you. The reason is weak emotional intelligence. This is harsh truth, but I have to tell you. So even if you're super intelligent, but if you don't have the personality traits that I mentioned earlier, you can't grow. You can't grow even in your personal life. And this, I don't know if you have noticed this or not, but this is also the reason weak emotional intelligence is also the reason that the relationship of husband and wife in our culture is weak. Instead of you as married couple take mutual decisions, your parents take your decisions. So you as a parent does the same with your children. You take their decision when they're children and when they're into their married life. It's a vicious circle, and you are in it, and you're comfortable with it. That's the dilemma. And this is the reason that our countries are not strong, because you are taught to be strong in IQ, in discipline, in respect. You're not taught to be strong in emotional intelligence. In what ways you will serve the nation unless you have built your emotional muscle? Anyway, I got off track, but everything is linked, my friends. Everything is linked. So don't blame the system. The real problem is your inner conflict. You wanted to do something else, but due to social conditioning, you landed somewhere else. This feeling is really ugly, and it doesn't let you sleep. It comes faster than you think. Some people are intelligent enough to identify this issue, but they find this change very difficult, and they give up. What if I tell you that you can avoid this feeling, but in fact, you can enjoy a career which is aligned with your personality, your passion, your goals, and your purpose? What would be your feeling? Forget about how will you do that. Just feel it in you. How will you feel? How beautiful your life would be when everything is synchronized. Type in the chat and share your thoughts. And by the way, this is not something difficult to do. You can do it. Yes, that's a good question, Sana. And I would say you only have one life to live to decide wisely, to decide what goes with your personality, your financial goals, and your purpose of life. However, don't overthink. You can start with simple goals and build it further later on. But understand yourself first, your interests, your personality, what are you happy about. And guys, I want you to pay attention to this. When you make your financial goals, look at how your parents and grandparents' relationship is with the money. I'll repeat, when you make your financial goals, look at how your parents and grandparents' relationship is with the money. Do they have limiting belief or abundance belief, and how it's impacting you? Do your parents often said that to you, that money doesn't grow on trees, and now you believe that money is scarce and it's difficult to earn it, and difficult to not only to earn but keep it and increase it? If this is also your belief, then work on it and believe on its abundance, because that will pop up in everything. So you choose your career or change career based on three things, three pillars: personality, your financial goals, and your purpose. Okay. So when you start your thinking process on deciding upon a career, it becomes really overwhelming. First of all, self-awareness is a key area where most people find their challenges. Most of the people don't know what their core strengths are. And at times, they consider their core strength as their weakness. And second challenge is goal setting. Finding purpose is super easy, although it seems more challenging. But the interesting part is that once you have self-awareness and you have set up your goals, you will come to a realization that you have already know what your purpose is, and to some extent, you have incorporated it in your goals. So the coach helps you in self-awareness journey, helps you in developing your financial goals and align it with your purpose, guides you to master the emotions, teaches you quick decision making, teaches you empathy, active listening, basically negotiation and influencing skills. And guys, by the way, coaching is not one day training on these skills like the way we get in our companies. I'm telling you from my experience, that's totally crap and useless. Excuse my language, by the way. It's like you're in elementary school, you're an elementary level student, and one day a university professor come to give you a lecture on university level book. So what you will get out of this lecture? Nothing but a feeling that's so difficult. So coaching is not training. Coaching is a process in which I will understand you, your world, at which level you are, and at which level you want to go. Then I guide you step by step to reach to the next level and to the next level and to the next level and to the mastery level. I will guide you, help you in the whole journey. Basically, it's a deep process, and it's only for those who are ambitious, who are committed to their success, who wants to make a difference in their life. So it's not for everyone because it's deep dive for me and for you. I want results for my clients, and I only work with serious and committed people who are ready to invest in themselves by all means. Would you like to have a mini coaching experience with me? It would be a good idea for you to understand what coaching is. And basically, I want to feel you that you have I want to feel you that you have, by the time you leave this room, you will feel that you have already taken a coaching session with me. So, all right, get your pen, paper, laptop, phone, whatever you have, and write down a few words or sentences about what you want your life to be like 5 years from now. Just a few words. It could be anything like I want to be happily married, I want 7 figures income, health, become a speaker, active in my community, whatever, just a few words very quickly. So now we are going into the coaching experience. So it would be really good if you can write it down, the answer of the questions that I ask you. It would be a good brainstorming session. And you can also share in the chat so that I also know. Now, think for a moment for your life to be the way you want 5 years from now. What has to happen 1 year from now? Write a few words about it. For example, I must give a license exam or get a license, qualification or a degree. I must lose 20 pounds, meet the men and women of my dreams, change my career, unshakable confidence in my decision making and thought, started my business, anything. Just write a few words. Now, think for a moment for the life that you want to be 1 year from now. What has to happen now, in this month, in this moment? What has to happen? Write just a few words about it. And basically, these are your first few steps to build the life that you want, to take charge of who you want to be and how you want to live. Type in the chat, for example, I must choose my subjects now, enroll into the college, apply for jobs in my field, join a gym, enroll into the coaching program, etc., etc. So the first step in the coaching is to help you to create a vision of what you want to become and identify the first steps that you need to take in order to fulfill that vision. And the second step is to help you to identify what are the challenges that you might encounter on the way to fulfilling your vision. So for the most of the people, the biggest challenge is what they focus on, what they think most of the time, what they believe. For example, if your first step is to take a licensing exam and you are thinking it's too difficult, I can't focus, I'm not good at this, or I don't have money to take the licensing exam, what are the chances that you will succeed? Or if your first step is to meet your future partner and you are thinking, oh, I'm too fat, I'm too short, I'm too tall, too shy, not attractive enough, what are the chances that you will succeed? So, zero. Next step is to guide you away from these self-defeating beliefs and to take you and to show you how you can empower yourself into thinking of thoughts that will make it possible for you to accomplish your goals. So how I get you to give up these thoughts? It's not easy because often these ideas have been ingrained for years and even programmed into us by our parents, teachers, sometimes outside our awareness. But the truth is that it's not that difficult. And all it takes to have a consequence that involves pain so that you would rather much give up the thoughts than experience the consequences. Let me give you an example. I had a client who needed to lose weight for health reasons, but she was certain that she couldn't give up her addiction to cakes. She loved cakes and would eat 2 big servings each day. She said it's beyond her control and there was nothing she could do about it. So I reviewed with her what doctor has said about her weight and the importance of becoming healthier. She agreed, but insisted that she was addicted to cakes. So I said, okay, this is what I want you to do. On a given day that you eat more than 2 teaspoons of cake, you have to bake 2 cakes from scratch. No mixes, and take them to the women's shelter, and I'll give you the address. If the next day you eat more than 2 teaspoons of cakes, once more you will bake 2 cakes from scratch and take them to the women's shelter, and so on. On the days that you eat only 2 teaspoons of cake, you don't have to bake or deliver anything. I explained that in this way, if she continued to destroy her health by eating cakes, at least some good will come out of it because the cakes would brighten the day of women in the shelter. So she reluctantly agreed. And for many days, she couldn't eat only 2 teaspoons of cake and she continuously delivered cakes to the shelter. You know what? This resulted in that she was much loved by the women there and she made many friends there. The cakes were so popular that she decided to turn into the business with her daughter. Eventually, she became so nauseated by the smell of the cakes at her house, and she stopped eating them and lost the weight. So she not only lost the weight, she made a contribution to women's shelter that was very much appreciated. She made new friends. She connected in a special way with her daughter, and she now runs a designer cake business on Instagram. And this is what I want for you, success in many areas. So this woman had a limiting belief, and the belief was that she cannot stop eating cakes. I showed her by introducing new experience that this belief was not true. So now take a moment to think, what are your limiting beliefs? Write down 1 or 2. So these beliefs are often phrases that we habitually say to ourselves. For example, I'm not good at speaking. I'm too shy. I cannot do this. These beliefs becomes our incantation. It's like a magic spell that prevents us from accomplishing what we want. It makes us stop, freeze. So now write down 2 positive incantation that will counter you, 2 limiting beliefs. For example, yes, I can learn it. I can apply myself to achieve my goals. And in the next few days, when these negative incantation creeps up in your mind, counter it immediately by repeating to yourself that you're positive incantations. By the way, this is just one way of getting away from your limiting beliefs. And there are several other ways to replace it with positive beliefs that I used in my coaching. and it depends upon your personality trait. Okay, now here is an important concept that I want to give you about 6 human needs that I will introduce you now. Have you ever think about it, whatever people do, why they do? There's always a reason, right? They might not aware of the reason consciously, but there's always a reason behind when someone does something. When someone, tries to commit suicide, there is a reason. When someone tries to hurt someone, there is a reason. When someone works 18 hours a day, there is a reason. Sana is working 18 hours a day. There is a reason. I'm working 10 hours a day. There is a reason. If someone doesn't work at all, there is a reason. Well, here is the good news. Whichever country or culture people belong to, there are only 6 reasons of why people do what they do. Their stories can be different, but the reasons are same, and these reasons are called 6 human needs. Once you know it, you will understand what drives you and others, and you can predict if the other person is a good corporate match or personal match. So the first need is certainty. It's a survival need. We want to feel safe. We want to avoid pain. We want to feel comfortable in our environment and with our relationships. Why? Because continuous pain means continuous damage, and continuous damage is eventually death. So every individual needs to have some sense of certainty and security. For example, I have a roof on my head, knowing that where the next meal will come from, knowing how to obtain care when somebody's sick, knowing that my neighbor will not attack me. Here's a question for you. How would you feel if you always know what will happen in every moment before a moment has happened? In the beginning, you feel really exciting. But after a while, when you know what's going to happen, when, why going to happen for everyone, what would you start feeling? Bored, out of your mind. Therefore, we have a need for uncertainty or a variety, challenges, surprises. It's a spice of life, guys. So tell me, how many of you like surprises? You can type in the chat. How many of you like surprises? Okay, so everyone is saying me, I like surprises. I would say wrong. You only like surprises that you want, and the surprises that you don't want, you call it problems. So the excitement that comes from the variety is necessary to feel alive. For some variety may be satisfied by watching the news on television. Others may seek extreme high-risk activities such as extreme sports. By talking to friends, you can also get variety by smoking. But the more uncertainty you will accept in your life, or the variety of accepting positive or negative experience in your life, you will notice that you will have more quality and happiness you will have in your life, right? So what is the third need? The third need is significance. Every person needs to feel important, needed, desired, wanted. Do you also want to feel important? But where this significance comes from, where this feeling of importance comes from, significance comes from comparing ourselves to others. And in our quest for significance, we are always involved in the question of superiority or inferiority. We can feel significant because we have achieved something, we have built something, succeeded at something, or we can see significance by tearing down something or somebody and just bringing them down to their knees. But in positive aspect, significance leads us to raise our standards, be it professional life or personal relationship. But if you're overly focused on significance, we will truly trouble in connecting with others. Think in this way, that comparison focuses on differences rather than commonalities. And in order to connect with someone, you have to look for commonalities. So the code words of the significance are pride, importance, standards, achievement, performance, perfection, evaluation, discipline, etc., etc., rejection also. So the fourth need is love and connection. Everyone needs connection with other human beings, and everyone strives for and hope for love. Some people really experience love, but they have many ways of feeling connection with others. For example, in the community or in the workplace, some people meet their needs by giving gifts, dress in a special way, by prayer, or by having or talking about their problems. Yes, it's true. When you talk about your problems, you start getting connection with the people who have same problems. So that's how you connect with people. That's not a good way or a positive way to connect with people, but that's a fact of the life. The code words for love and connection are togetherness, passion, unity, warmth, tenderness, and desire. The question is not what your needs are. The question is, how do you meet your needs? Is it obtainable, sustainable? Is it positive, negative, neutral? And does it align with the blueprint of life that you want? Everyone finds a way to fulfill his first four needs, okay? Because these are the needs of the personality. But there are two more needs that are need of the spirit. And I call them, one of them is growth. So what is growth? When we stop growing, we die. We need to constantly develop emotionally, intellectually, spiritually. We grow and change emotionally with every experience of our life, and we grow intellectually as we respond to events and to the world around us. Anything that you want to remain in your life, guys, whether it's money, your health, or your relationship, your happiness, love, it must be cultivated. It must be developed. It must be expanded. Otherwise, it will degenerate. Some people satisfy their needs of growth by working out physically or by reading a book. Other needs to study and learn constantly in order to feel that they are truly, truly growing. The code words of growth are developing, learning, self-improvement, studying, and understanding. The second need of the spirit, which is our sixth need, is contribution. So it's like to go beyond our own needs and give to others, simply. And our life is incomplete without the sense of contribution to others or to a cause. It's in the nature of human beings who wants to give back or to leave a mark in this world. Giving to others may mean giving to some time to the community service, making a charitable donation, planting trees, or giving to one's children, delivering in the webinar, which is free for everyone, is another way of contribution. And I'm explaining you these concepts. It's also a way of contribution for myself. So the code words for contribution are giving, sharing, helping, supporting, guiding, teaching, and making a difference. Not only can everyone feel contributed in some way, but contribution is essential to feel that the sense of fulfillment and happiness. I hope that you have noted down these things, and I would like you now to go back to your notings and list the 6 human needs in the way that are most important to you, not in the order that I explained, but in the order that are most important to you. So the most important first, the second most next, and so on. Okay. And it will be really interesting that you predict the order of your needs of your colleagues, partners, children, and discuss it with them, how you can contribute to fulfill their needs. One question you might be coming into your mind that even humans have the same needs, so why we behave differently? Yeah, that's all right. Very valid questions that's coming into your mind. which I can read. Because why we behave differently? Because we don't value all these needs equally. For some people, certainty is the most important need. And if they are certainty driven and you try to change anything in their life, they just freak out. They get angry, fearful, pissed off, because what matters most to them is to keep things in a certain way, in a standardized way where they feel in control. So some people value love more than certainty, and some value certainty more than love. So if they don't feel certain, they will never open completely. So what makes you different is which two needs you value the most, and that's your direction. The other difference is even the two-person have two same needs, but they have different belief of what it takes to be loved or certain. Some people feel certain with $1 million, and some by just praying to the God, some by seeing children in a perfect state every day, and some by just knowing that they will find a way, even if they don't know what will happen tomorrow, but they will find a way because they have always been finding a way. That's again the way of feeling certainty. Now look at your list and think about whether there are contradictions in the experience of your needs. You may have certainty at the top of the list, and uncertainty and variety may be second. And if this is the case, you might constantly suffer an inner conflict as to which need is most important to satisfy. By the same token, the need for significance is often contradictory with the need of love, because it's difficult to love someone who always has to feel significantly important. That's why so many successful people who satisfy the need for significance have trouble um, in their close relationships, and they feel that they are not truly loved. So now take the two most important needs on your list and write down 2 or 3 things that has to happen for you to feel that the need is fulfilled. What do you do in order to fulfill those needs? For example, if your number one need is love, what has to happen for you to feel loved? And think if it is positive or sustainable way to fulfill that need. I'll give you an example to make your work a little bit easier. If you say that in order to feel loved, my spouse or my children every day must come to me and say that they love me. Do you think it is possible? What if they don't say? How would I feel? I would be sad every day because they're not saying I love you, mom, every day, right? And for example, in order to feel significant, your colleagues um, must say good morning when they come to the office, or say goodbye when they go out of the office, and talk to you, in the intervals. What if they don't say it? What do you feel? They don't respect you? You don't feel important? You will be pissed off every day. But the chances are that they are under stress. They might forget they have workload. So write down what has to happen for you in order to feel that your need is fulfilled, whatever it is. At least do it for the first two needs. And I let you do this. You can do it in your leisure time as well. And tell me, how do you feel after doing this session? Type in the chat. By the way, this is just a little glimpse of coaching. There is so much more that there are endless possibilities in coaching.
In order to take benefit from our career coaching services, you'll have to actually visit our website, which is www.ed-watch.org. So here you can, look into the upcoming training programs as well, but you'll have to basically come to our career support section. Here we have career coaching and global intelligence test tabs. You'll have to click the career coaching tab. So this is our career coaching page. Here's some information, and we have the following coaching options. We have single session 1 hour coaching session, which is a one-to-one session. Then we have group coaching available. We have one-on-one career coaching available. You can take the 3 months career coaching, and you can opt for 6 months coaching, or you can just take one session at a time. If you're not certain what exactly you're looking for, or you just want to try it once. So here's a process. um, this is the step one, online assessment. You can click here. You'll have to basically click here to take the questionnaire. This is the first step. You will actually receive clarity call from our trainer after you have filled in the questionnaire. We will have a look at this questionnaire as well. And the second step is, obviously, you will receive a qualitative and a quantitative assessment of a global emotional intelligence based on the test that you have given, and the clarity call that you received from the coach. And the third step is recommendation. Obviously, that report comes along with recommendations, what we think your career path should look like. And we will obviously be recommending some trainings that we are offering at EdWatch. And then you will be getting information on the coaching follow-up, or subscriptions or referrals that you can opt for. These are our coaches. Momina Khan, you have met her. She's an amazing coach. Pune Joharshi and Muhammad Khalid Ahmad. These are three coaches. So once you have taken the questionnaire, we can, recommend a coach to you. So this is basically our questionnaire. Here you can fill in your personal information, and then you can click on next. And then there is the global emotional questionnaire that you'll have to fill, and then you will have to finally uh, there are 42 questions that you'll have to fill in, and then you will have to submit that questionnaire in order for to receive a clarity call from the coach. And once you've done that, a coach will contact you, and we will basically get in touch with you and discuss the way forward. So this is EdWatch. This is the coaching process. Grab it now. It's the future.
Guys, I would invite you to increase your speed of success, and there's no better way to achieve it except coaching. So there is an even offer for you. It's not for everyone. It's only for those who are committed to their dreams, their success, and willing to fulfill the dreams of their loved ones. The value that we are offering you is priceless. Remember that coaching is not a cost, it's an investment for your career, your dreams, and the return on investment is 5 times as per Harvard Business Review paper issued recently. Guys, at the end, thank you so much for attending this webinar. And if you apply these strategies that I've explained to you, you will get true benefit out of it. So thanks a lot.